What's up, guys? So, today was a very small green day, but I'm just grateful to be green. And you can just see here that we took just one trade on AIXI. So, it's pretty much a break even trade. So, just we made about 1 cent per share. And, just holding my discipline for today, not entering trades just because we're not entering tickers just because they're popping up, right? We're just waiting for a micro pullback setup. So let's just do a quick recap of the day first, and then we'll talk about the AIXI trade that I took today. So if you take a look here at my journal for today, you can see that between 5:45 and 6, we saw RDGT. It broke above VWAP. So we're just looking for that second leg up. EZGO had a sharp pop, but then it was just selling off. And there was also a very thin hollow order book, and it was also trading below $2. So we didn't touch EZGO. Between 6:30 and 7, we saw two stocks of ORIS. It popped up, but we're on the backside, and I don't like to trade the backside of move. It's, there's more risk associated with that. So it looks like it broke out from VWAP, and also it had a hollow book, so I didn't trade ORIS. And then AIXI had just continued backside price action. So I always want to be on the front of every move. And 7 a.m. to 7:30, AIXI broke below VWAP, so we didn't touch that. But I'm sorry. So we did take a trade once again on AIXI at exactly uh, earlier today. We can just take a look at the log here. But yeah, I mean, typically, I want to be on the front side. If the backside presents an opportunity, I will take it. But I'll just keep that in mind that I should be prioritizing front side moves. And then between 7:38, we saw HSCS. It ran to a high of 339 before reversing lower. So if you just take a look at my dashboard here, if I were to type in my HSCS, we saw that. Okay, so it looks like the high was about $3.66 today, pre-market. So around 750. That's what my dashboard has down, and so okay, that should be 366. I'm sorry, before reversing lower. So we didn't catch a trade on that. QUCY and BOLD were just pop and drops. And then ICC and BOIH were just pop and drops. Q and RX was pop and drop. And now I'm trying to end my sessions around 9 a.m. So, today was a very slow day. We took a trade on AIXI. So this was between 7:19 a.m. So actually, we barely held that trade just for 20 seconds. So it was a break even once again. So before I show the recording, I just want to explain my thesis. So we were looking for a break above 550, right? Break above 550 for the continuation towards the $6 level. So let's take a look at the recording here for the day, and you can see that okay, AIXI, and I'll just turn this off here. So AIXI, okay, so we see it pop up immediately when we pull up the ticker. And so, okay, I might have had a little bit of FOMO there, just trying to get in right away. I just saw the pullback, so I'm gonna go over my notes later as to what I can improve. But for this here, we saw a small pullback on the 15-second chart, so this was a little bit rushed, right? We saw a bit of support at 499. No clear resistance. I mean, I guess the closest resistance is around that area, right? But no notable resistance. But 550 is the resistance, right? Half and whole dollars. But anyways, we entered the trade right about there. We're looking for an immediate squeeze up, and I mean we sort of get that. Well, it respects that level, right? It respects the 515 level. We sort of bounce off it. We're trying to break out from 537 up to 550, and it looks like resistance is building at 540, and we just didn't see a follow through. So I like to just see it react right away, or I'll just get out. And here I'm just trying to cut the trade, and the support's at around $5, but I just wanted to get out, manage my risk, and I got out for just a small $2 gain. So I just want to go over some of the things I can improve for next time. So the result, of course, was the anticipated breakout failed to materialize, and the expected pushes towards 6 never developed, right? So my 1% improvement for next time is to verbally call out significant support and resistance levels before entering the trade. So this is just so I can, materialize what the important levels are for my own self. So just verbally calling that out sort of reminds me that I need to be paying attention to the level 2, right? And so now my process is going to look like this. whenever I'm evaluating a ticker that meets my criteria, I want to make sure that I look at the level two first and foremost, right? I will assess the key areas of support and key areas of resistance. And then we look at the chart where we identify that support and resistance visually, looking at the VWAP, and then identifying what the overall trend sort of looks like. And then we look at the time and sales, right? And that most importantly is, especially when we're in a trade, we want to make sure that we continue to see bullish momentum on the tape. And so I just included a small reminder down below to always look at the level two first, and then the chart, and then the time and sales. So hopefully, tomorrow I will just keep that in mind. But that's just my analysis for today. It's definitely hard. It's definitely a little bit of a tougher market today, but it's hard. Just sitting on your hands for the most part. But I think it was the right thing to do today. I've learned my lesson from the many weeks that I've showed up now. Just staying patient and just reminding myself that there's so much opportunity out there, but we just want to wait for that perfect setup, and I want to keep practicing, right? I'm trying to be a better trader every day, and that just means showing up every day. Showing up is the win in and of itself, because I'm just trying to build up that intuition over time. But yeah, so that's just my analysis for today. If you guys have any feedback or any learnings that you came across today, please be sure to share that with me and with the other people watching this video. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.